Good morning, students. In previous class, we have seen how to write that alpha form and beta form of fructose in the form of Havar structures. Okay, and what is the thing? It is displayed on board. Both structures are same, like that I told no. There is no difference between this structure and this structure, as well as this structure and this structure for beta form. Okay, now little bit I would like to recall this one. This is alpha form of fructose and this is beta form of fructose. Okay, and this fructose is levorotatory. Fructose is levorotatory, so it is represented by minus. Okay, and now I would like to just go through continuation of this one. Before that, I hope you are very clear about these structures, how to write this one. Okay, if you write oxygen with right side carbon, second carbon, we have to turn that Fischer projection clockwise direction. Okay, now if you write oxygen with left side second carbon, then we have to turn Fischer projection anti-clockwise direction. Then this CH2OH coming here above, if you write left side, it will become CH2OH here. Okay, why did we write like this? This is completely same molecule only, but angle of reference is different. Okay, I am standing here, I already explained, no? You are seeing from that side and I am seeing this side. In between you and us, you and me, I have that fructose molecule. Okay, for me, what is the thing? It is above the plane. For you, it is below the plane. So, if I draw the structure, like this it will be. If you draw the structure, it will be like this. But both molecules we are seeing same molecule only. That's why both molecules are same. Here also both molecules are same. Okay, ma? This is about fructose. Now, this is beta form of structure, beta form of fructose. This fructose is resembling the structure furan. This fructose structure is resembling the structure furan. That's why we are writing the alpha form of fructose name as alpha capital D minus alpha form capital D. This is also representing relative molecule, that is glyceraldehyde, capital D, that is plus glyceraldehyde only. Fructose is also representing plus glyceraldehyde, that's why we wrote capital D. It is levorotatory minus. Okay, fructo is the name obtained from here. It is resembling, closed ring structure of fructose is resembling furan, so furanose. Fructofuranose. Alpha capital D minus fructofuranose. Beta form of fructose. Beta form of fructose named as beta capital D. Whatever it is, they are relative to glyceraldehyde as capital D only in our study, in our carbohydrates molecules. Okay, beta capital D. Even this beta form also, it is levorotatory only. Same, fructofuranose. So what are the names of alpha form and beta form? Alpha form of fructose, it is named as alpha capital D minus, what is that alpha form? Capital D relative to glyceraldehyde minus, it is dextrorotatory, fructofuranose. This is resembling the structure of 5-membered ring furan. It is resembling the structure of 5-membered ring furan. Furan contains 4 carbons, 1 oxygen. Furan contains 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons, 1 oxygen. Even fructose closed structure contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and oxygen in the ring. Outside the ring CH2OH, here CH2OH they are present. Okay. But in the ring it is resembling like furan. That's why we wrote furanose. Okay ma? This is the information about fructose. What are the names? Alpha form, alpha capital D minus fructofuranose. Beta form, beta capital D minus fructofuranose. Okay. This is complete information about fructose. You have to remember carefully that glucose is dextrorotatory, fructose is levorotatory. Okay. Next we have to see what about the disaccharides. Before going to that one, I hope you understood this fructose also. By this we completed monosaccharides. 2 monosaccharides we have seen. Those 2 monosaccharides are glucose and fructose. Okay, ma? Now, next heading. Disaccharides. Under disaccharide structure, under disaccharides, 3 molecules we will discuss. Those are sucrose, maltose and lactose. Sucrose, maltose and lactose. Those 3 structures we have to see carefully. Now let us see first sucrose. Sucrose formula C12H22O11. The C12H22O11 on hydrolysis in presence of dilute HCl. C12H22O11 on hydrolysis in presence of dilute HCl, it will form C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. This is alpha plus capital D glucose and this is beta capital D minus fructose. What are the monomers present? Sucrose on hydrolysis, it will give 2 further carbohydrates. That's why it is called disaccharide. Okay. What is the formula of sucrose? C12H22O11 reacts with H2 to form alpha glucose and beta D fructose. So what are the monomers present in sucrose? Sucrose contains alpha glucose and beta fructose. Now let us see what is the structure of sucrose. Okay, ma? Structure. First, alpha glucose I have to write, ma. Oxygen, carbon, right side C1, here this is 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is alpha D glucose, na? Just I will refer, actually I will not remember whether H on above and OH on below. Even I will take the help of this closed ring structure and I will write that one. Let us see. C OH H, first carbon bonded to oxygen here. Next second carbon contains OH right side, H left side. Third carbon contains H right side, OH left side. Fourth carbon contains OH right side, H left side. Fifth carbon contains bonded with oxygen and here H and here CH2OH. This is sixth carbon. Okay. Now I wrote oxygen here, right side C1 ma. Then turning towards, when we write oxygen with right side C1, we have written like this. Then H above, OH below. Next second carbon, H above, OH below. Next third carbon, OH above, H below. Fourth carbon, H above, OH below. Fifth carbon, CH2OH above, H below. This is the Hayward structure of alpha D glucose. Okay, next beta D fructose. Beta D fructose, this carbon, second carbon, here CH2OH, this is OH, bonded to oxygen, bonded to C5, above H, below CH2OH. This is sixth carbon. Fifth carbon is bonded to fourth carbon, OH above, H below. Third carbon, H above, OH below, and this is bonded. Okay, this is beta capital D minus fructose. Okay, now this is individual molecule of glucose, this is individual molecule of fructose. Observe the two structures carefully, all of you. Okay, now these two molecules are combined here. These two molecules are combined here. Observe, hydrogen present on OH group of second carbon of fructose and OH group present on first carbon of glucose. OH group present on first carbon of glucose, hydrogen present on oxygen of OH group of second carbon of fructose will be removed as water, will be coming out as water. Then this oxygen will form bond with this carbon. Then it will form like this. Water is removed, minus H2O. Again, if you provide this H2O, means this total sucrose. This is total sucrose, no? This total sucrose, if it undergoes again hydrolysis, means reaction with water. OH will be added here, hydrogen will be added here, and these two molecules will be broken down to form alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. Okay, this is the structure of sucrose, and at the junction of C1 and C2, C1 of glucose and C2 of fructose, we observed a bond, COC bond. What is that? COC bond. This is called glycosidic linkage. What is that? That COC bond in between glucose and fructose. C1 of glucose and C2 of fructose, in between them that oxygen is there. Okay, that bond representation, COC bond, is called glycosidic linkage. With that glycosidic linkage, this glucose and fructose will be bonded, and total sucrose molecule is getting C12H22O11 structure. Okay, ma? This is the structure of sucrose. If this sucrose undergoes hydrolysis, water will be provided again. That water will be added to this C1 and C2, and the bond will be cleaved. It will be getting cleaved and formed alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. that is happening when it is undergoing hydrolysis. That C1OC2 linkage is called glycosidic linkage. This is one type of condensation polymerization. Two molecules are undergoing condensation reaction to form sucrose structure. Is it clear, man? Draw the structure neatly. And I did not write the carbon numbers, man. Here this is 6th carbon of glucose and this is 1st carbon of glucose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is about sucrose structure. Sucrose contains 2 monomers. What are the 2 monomers? Alpha D plus glucose and beta D minus fructose. Okay, this is about sucrose. Here we have to go through one more point, that is inversion of sugar. Okay, what is that inversion of sugar? Now I am going to explain. Shall I rub this one, all of you? Okay, see the points mark here. Glucose, it is dextrorotatory with angle 52.5 degrees. Dextrorotatory with angle 52.5 means if that polarized light, if that polarized light is passed through the glucose solution, that polarized light, if it is like this, through the glucose solution, it will turn right side with angle. Suppose this is axis ma. What is the angle here? This is 52.5 degrees. That is glucose dextrorotatory with angle 52.5. Okay, next fructose. Fructose levorotatory with angle 92 degrees. Meaning here, if this is polarized light, this polarized light is passed through, this is glucose ma, this is fructose. Okay, then this is turned towards left side. This is turned towards left side. This is imaginary center with angle 92 degrees. That is the meaning. Okay, I am going to rub these diagrams. I am writing here fructose with levorotatory 92 degrees. Okay, now first I took sucrose now. Sucrose is dextrorotatory. Sucrose is dextrorotatory. What is the meaning of this dextrorotatory? I took some sugar. Dissolved in water. It is prepared sucrose solution. Actually here sucrose is dissolved in water. There is no chemical reaction. Okay, sucrose dissolved in water, there is no chemical reaction. Forms sucrose solution. Is it okay, man? Now, the sucrose solution is masked with polarized light. This polarized light is passed through sucrose solution and we got resultant. The light is turned towards right side. Then the sucrose solution, that means sucrose is dextrorotatory. Like this we confined. Okay, next. This sucrose undergoes hydrolysis. Now it will undergo chemical reaction. Sucrose will undergo chemical reaction. Here simply it is dissolved to form sucrose solution. Now sucrose is undergoing hydrolysis to form glucose and fructose. Glucose and fructose. Now I took the mixture of glucose and fructose. Glucose and fructose. These are formed from hydrolysis of sucrose only. Okay, through this I passed the light. Plain polarized light. I pass with the light, plain polarized light. Okay, the resultant obtained is left side. Resultant obtained is left side with almost 40 degrees. With almost 40 degrees. Normal sucrose solution, right side, dextrorotatory. Sucrose after hydrolysis. Sucrose after hydrolysis, it forms glucose and fructose. Na? That solution resultant levorotatory. Sucrose normal solution dextrorotatory. After hydrolysis, it is turned to levorotatory. Observe this point. Sucrose normal solution dextrorotatory. After hydrolysis, it is turned to levorotatory. This is called inversion. Inversion of which molecule? Sucrose. This is called inversion of sugar. This process is called inversion of sugar. Once again, normal sucrose solution, that means sucrose is dissolved in water to form sucrose solution without any hydrolysis. Okay, that one, if it is undergone that plain polarized light examination, that is turned towards right side and it is showing dextrorotatory. Okay, but the same sucrose, if it undergoes hydrolysis, it will form glucose and fructose in the solution. So in the solution we have mixture of glucose and fructose. That glucose and fructose solution is undergone this plain polarized light experiment, then we will get resultant that light is turned towards left side with 40 degrees. Why it is turned towards left side 40 degrees also I will give clarity. Okay, but my question is here, after completion of the hydrolysis, it is turning into levorotatory. Before hydrolysis, it is present as dextrorotatory. Okay, this dextrorotatory completely became levorotatory. That is called inversion of sugar. Normal sucrose, dextrorotatory. After hydrolysis, it is turned to levorotatory. That's why it is called inversion of sugar. So, hydrolysis of sucrose is also called inversion of sugar. Hydrolysis of sucrose is also called as inversion of sugar. Okay. Now, why it is showing left side angle 40 degrees? We will see that one more. Observe all of you, everyone. Okay. Now, why it is showing left side 40 degrees? Let us see. See all of you, glucose dextrorotatory with 52.5. Okay, I am going to rub this one. This mixture contains both glucose and fructose. Okay, this is plain polarized light. This plain polarized light, first if it touches glucose, it will be turned towards right side with 52.5. With angle 52.5 with center this axis. Okay, now what is going to happen? After touching this one, it is going to touch fructose also. Same light, it is going to touch fructose also. Then what will be happen? Fructose is the rotation of 92 degrees. Correct? Fructose will turn the light with left side direction with 92 degrees. Then what will be happen? This is 52.5 degrees now. So if it touches this fructose, first it will come to normal. Again 52.5 over. Next remaining 40 degrees almost. Remaining 40 degrees is there now. It will be turned towards left. So resultant it will be coming as left side with 40 degrees. Resultant we are getting with this light turned towards left side with 40 degrees. You understood now, all of you? I hope you are clear. Okay. This light, when it is passed through glucose and fructose solution, first it will touch the glucose. Then it will be turned towards 52.5 degrees. This is 52.5. After this one is going to touch this fructose, it will come to normal 52.5 over. Then again it will turn left side 40 because total it should rotate 92 degrees. Total 92. So 52 normal, again 40 left side. So resultant 40 we are getting. That's why we are getting 40 degrees left side. Okay ma. That is happened when glucose and fructose mixture solution is undergone that plain polarized experiment. Okay, normal sucrose solution, if it undergoes plain polarized experiment, it is showing dextrorotatory. Okay, now finally I am going to give conclusion. The conclusion is sucrose, which is dextrorotatory, if it undergoes hydrolysis, it will be converted to C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. This is with 52.5 degrees, this is with 92 degrees. So net resultant, this is minus, this is plus, levorotatory. Okay, then dextrorotatory compound, after hydrolysis it is becoming levorotatory. This is called inversion of sugar. This is called inversion of sugar. Okay, ma? Is it clear? Next. Carbohydrates are classified into two types depending on their reducing character. Reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. Reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. Okay, ma. Now, glucose, fructose, etc. These are all coming under reducing sugars. Whether they contain aldehyde group or ketone group. Actually, in aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids chapter, we have seen these reducing reactions are shown by only aldehydes. Reducing reactions are shown by only aldehydes. Like that we have seen. But now, whether the carbohydrate contains aldehyde group or ketone group. Whether the carbohydrate contains aldehyde group or ketone group. I will give clarity about that point in the coming classes. Okay. Whether the carbohydrate contains glucose, fructose contains aldehyde, fructose contains ketone, whatever it might be, those are coming under reducing sugars. Okay. Coming under non-reducing sugar, example sucrose. Coming under non-reducing sugar, example sucrose. Okay. Now, regarding this point, I would like to say about sucrose. Let us see what about that non-reducing sugar. Why it is called non-reducing sugar. Okay. Let us see. Anomeric carbon of glucose, alpha D glucose, is C1. Anomeric carbon of beta D fructose is C2. When C1 of glucose and C2 of fructose are involved in glycosidic linkage, then that sugar is called non-reducing sugar. Meaning of C1 and this one is anomeric carbon of glucose and anomeric carbon of fructose are involved in glycosidic linkage. If you remember the structure, glucose I wrote, right side fructose I wrote, glucose C1 carbon, oxygen and C2 carbon of fructose involved in glycosidic linkage. Once see the structure, you will understand. Okay, C1 carbon of glucose and C2 carbon of fructose. C1 is called anomeric carbon of glucose. Already I told what is meant by anomeric carbon. C2 is called anomeric carbon of fructose. Okay, when anomeric carbon of two monomers, when anomeric carbons of two monomers are involved in glycosidic linkage, then that sugar is called non-reducing sugar. Any one anomeric carbon, if it is free, any one anomeric carbon, if it is free, then that sugar is reducing sugar. Why it is called like this, reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar difference, you will get clarity after knowing the structures of maltose and lactose. Okay, remaining two more structures are there, we will see under disaccharides. We will see them. Before that, in sucrose what is happened? Okay, glucose first carbon and fructose second carbon, they are involved in glycosidic linkage. When anomeric carbon of glucose and anomeric carbon of fructose both are involved in glycosidic linkage, that is in sucrose, then the sugar sucrose is called non-reducing sugar. Sucrose is called non-reducing sugar. Then if any one anomeric carbon of two monomers, if any one anomeric carbon of two monomers, if they are free, then that molecule is called reducing sugar. Now we will confirm, once if you go through maltose and lactose structures, you will come to know easily, no problem. Now, are you clear about this, sucrose? This is over, sucrose is over. Now read once. Anomeric carbon of alpha D glucose is C1, anomeric carbon of beta D fructose is C2. Okay, when anomeric carbon of glucose C1 and anomeric carbon of fructose C2 are involved in glycosidic linkage, then the sugar is called non-reducing sugar. So you can write the point under note for sucrose. Sucrose is non-reducing sugar. Okay, monomers of sucrose, those are alpha capital D plus glucose and beta capital D minus fructose. Those are monomers. Next, what are the carbons involved in glycosidic linkage? Importantly note down, C1 of glucose and C2 of fructose. Those are nothing but anomeric carbon of glucose and anomeric carbon of fructose. Okay, when both anomeric carbons are involved in glycosidic linkage, then the sugar is called non-reducing sugar. Now we will see what about the structure of next maltose. After that we will see lactose. Okay, let us see. So in this sucrose we have seen structure of sucrose, next inversion of sucrose, and sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. Why it is non-reducing sugar we have seen. Okay, what about that confirmation, means little bit conclusion about that reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. At once this maltose and lactose are going to be completed, we will come to know, no problem at all. Okay, let us see what about next disaccharide, that is second one, maltose. Maltose molecular formula is also C12H22O11. Maltose molecular formula is also C12H22O11. Monomers. Monomers alpha D glucose and alpha D glucose. Both are alpha D glucose molecules only. These are the monomers present in maltose. Okay. Now, oxygen, right side first carbon, next second, third carbon, fourth, fifth, this is bonded here. This is contained by CH2OH, sixth carbon, H. This is alpha D glucose, na? Alpha D plus glucose, no problem. Okay, definitely OH must be below. OH must be below, H will be above. Next, second carbon. In second carbon, OH is on right side, na? If you turn clockwise, then it will become down. OH, H. Next, third carbon, OH on left side. Then it will be coming above. H, OH, H. Next, fourth carbon, OH on right side. Then it will be coming down. OH, H. This is alpha D 1 unit. Same, another alpha D 1 more unit I am going to write. See, this is fourth carbon bonded to C5, bonded to oxygen, bonded to first carbon. Next, second carbon. Third, and this is bonded here. Same molecule, I can copy. OH here, H here, H, OH, fourth carbon, H, OH, first carbon, H, OH. This is also alpha D glucose. Now, see, observe, first molecule C1, second molecule C4. This H and this OH will be gone out as water minus H2O. Okay, then remove this H2O. We will get glycosidic linkage. In between which carbons? We will get glycosidic linkage in between C1 of alpha D glucose and C4 of alpha D glucose. Here, what is the anomeric carbon of glucose? First carbon. This alpha D glucose also first carbon only, anomeric carbon. That's why in this total molecule, one alpha D glucose anomeric carbon is free. It is not involved in glycosidic linkage. Both anomeric carbons are not involved in glycosidic linkage. One anomeric carbon only it is involved in glycosidic linkage. Is it correct? Okay, it is free only. Then this is reducing sugar. This is structure of maltose coming under reducing sugar. Observe the structure clearly. Okay, man? Is it clear, everyone? So, this is over. Maltose is over. Next, we can go through lactose. Shall I rub this one now? Next, lactose. Lactose molecular formula C12H22O11. Same, these three are isomers. Sucrose, maltose and lactose, these three are isomers. Next, in lactose monomers are beta D galactose, galactose and alpha D glucose, beta D galactose and alpha D glucose. Okay, now before going to this structure of lactose, we will see what about the galactose. Okay, ma, let us see. C OH H, this is first carbon, second carbon, H OH, third carbon, H OH, fourth carbon, OH H, fifth carbon, and first carbon, H CH2 OH, sixth carbon. This is closed structure of alpha capital D galactose. It is the closed structure of alpha capital D galactose. Next, beta capital D galactose. C first carbon, OH H, second carbon, H OH, third carbon, H OH, fourth carbon, OH H, fifth carbon. He is bonded. H, finally CH2 OH, sixth carbon. This is beta D galactose. Okay, now I am going to rub this one now. This is written as Hayward structure, beta D galactose. Hayward structure I am writing with oxygen, right side first carbon. Okay, right side first carbon means above OH, below H. This is bonded to second carbon, above OH, below H. Next, this second carbon is bonded to third carbon, above OH, below H. Third carbon is bonded to fourth carbon, above H, below OH. This is bonded to fifth carbon. Every time this fifth carbon contains that above CH2OH, H, this is bonded. This is beta D galactose. Rub this one. Beta D galactose, and what is the another monomer? Alpha D glucose. Alpha D glucose means oxygen, right side C1. C1 alpha means getting down, OH down, H will be above. Next, C1 is bonded to C2. Second carbon right side OH, it is coming down, and this is H. C3, third carbon, right side H. So it is getting down, this is OH. Next, fourth carbon, C4. C4 means right side OH. OH is getting down and H is above. And C5, anyway CH2OH is above, sixth carbon, H is below, this is bonded. This is alpha D glucose, and this is beta D galactose. Now observe, this is C1 of beta D galactose, C4 of glucose. Anomeric carbon of galactose is this one. Anomeric carbon of glucose is first one. It is free. That's why this is also coming under reduction sugar. Now this OH is there na, this H and this OH will be removed as water. So this glycosidic linkage is formed like this, glycosidic linkage is formed like this. Okay, this is glycosidic linkage. In glycosidic linkage, what are the carbons involved? C1 of galactose, anomeric carbon, C4 of glucose, which is not an anomeric carbon. That anomeric carbon of glucose is free. That's why this is coming under reducing sugar. Okay, this is the structure of lactose. Lactose, what are the monomers? No? Beta D galactose and alpha D glucose. This is about disaccharides. By today's class, we have completed disaccharides. Okay, next directly we will enter the polysaccharides. No? These many explanations are also not there. Simply we will draw the polysaccharides. Two polysaccharides we are going, sorry, 3 or 4 like that. But structures only we will learn. Simple, like this only. Very easy. Okay, so in next class we will see the polysaccharides. I hope you are very clear about these disaccharides today what we have learned. Okay, any doubts you can ask, no problem. Okay, ma'am. Thank you all.